Alright, this is another print on my Ender 3, my basic, unmolested Ender 3. You can see there that the skirt is the outer line, and the inner two lines there is the actual print. So I'm going to go down here so we can look at it. So the outermost line all the way around is the skirt. And I know it's hard to see, but as you can tell already, there's no raft required, no brim required. I am printing in PLA Silk Gold PLA, and this is how it's set up. This is a guitar neck, and it's been reduced in size to about 40% of its original STL file size. You can see here also it's a non-heated bed. It's not required when I print in this manner. When I print like you see here, so don't take my word for anything. Just look at the video, see how it's set up. This is your basic hot end here. There's nothing about it that's overkill. There's only a few things required to get the filament down to the table. First thing is the plastic extruder. That's this right here. That's the original plastic body right there. Okay, because it still works. No reason to change the whole damn thing. If that arm cracks there, just buy another arm. It's like $3, 5 minutes. That's it. You put it on. It's remove, replace, print. ABC 1, 2, 3. All right, and you can see I've printed a knob for this so you can see the extruder doing its job. My filament is of course mounted here for a direct path into the extruder. There's no arms, levers, gizmos, gadgets, pulleys, or anything to redirect it because I put it right here. Right through here, down the Bowden tube. This is how the filament gets to a moving part, is by the Bowden tube process. This is a Bowden. The filament is running inside that tube. It's rigid all the way up until it gets to the heat block right here. And the heat block is way down here. It's right at the nozzle. Ahead of that is the heat sink. There's a fan keeping that heat sink relatively cool because you want the filament going through that heat sink rigid all the way up until it gets to the heat block that's located right down here. And right now it's set for 212 Celsius, so that's mighty hot. So by the time the filament gets through here, it's staying rigid the whole time. It has to, because this extruder is pushing the filament. Okay, so when it pushes on the filament, it's got to be expected to be rigid the entire time up until it gets into the heat block. Otherwise you're going to have heat creep. If this fan slows down for any reason, that heat sink will start to warm up. It'll cause the filament to mushroom out because it's getting too soft. You don't want that. All right? So there you go. It's actually three things. You have your extruder down through the Bowden tube, down through the hot end. There's no electronic gizmo here. It's not required if you understand the manual tramming needs. This is manually tramming the bed, okay? Instead of CRT, it's actually a manual human touch. Yeah, the manual human touch, not CRT. You're going to manually check the distance. The nozzle right down here is from the print surface, right over here. You use a piece of paper. That's why they call it a old school tramming tool, because it's feeling the distance. That's why they call it a feeler gauge, because you want to feel the distance by the pressure the nozzle is putting on the paper. See, so when it's sitting here, the nozzle is pressing on the paper, which is pressing on the table, which you can feel. If it's too close, it's too tight. If it's too loose or too far away from the bed, it's too loose. There's a Goldilocks zone that is learned through experience. Once you've learned how to use this, you don't need to ever need to use the electronic gizmo. Another thing, this bed is a mirror. It's a mirror tile. Since the bed is flat across its entire surface, including its thickness, is the same thickness all the way around, because if it's not, it'll look like a clown mirror at the circus. So once you have a bed that is flat, equal distance from the nozzle, once you've trammed it, then this gizmo right here that some people use is useless, because you have a flat bed, you've trammed it properly with the paper, this becomes non-needed. It's just useless. So that's how you get around using that, if you know how to tram the bed properly. Okay, and then you can continue to use the 0 that this switch is for. This is your Z-axis 0 set switch right here for Z. Your Y is back there. That's where the switch is for the Y. The Z, the 0 set for X. Ooh, look at that. It's right there. Okay, so you have X, Y, that's the table, and Z right here is the gantry, up and down. It's just like, how simple can it be? How simple can it get? You don't need direct drive if you're printing PLA, whether it's silk or standard PLA, you know, any color. You don't need this thing sitting on top of your hot end, weighting it down. It's gravity. You can't turn off gravity. So you're going to have this weighted part, which is the stepper motor, the extruder, sitting on top of here. When basically, get it the hell off of there, just have what's required, as you see, and put it back over here. Because the Bowden tube delivery works if you know how to use it. This is proof. Okay? So, there you go. Happy printing. Oh, also, these are regular springs. These are standard springs that came with the printer, so you don't need to change those. The E steps for this, guess what? Yeah, is 93. That's what the E steps are at, 93 from the factory. Leave the printer settings and software the hell alone, and it will print as you see it's printing right now on the non-heated bed. 212 on the gold silk filament, 100% feed rate. I mean, it's basic printing 101. All right, I'll keep you posted.